And welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, joined by Nick beside me, Ryan down below, and we are ready to break down some Saturday sports. Nick, not a lot from you in baseball today, but you more than made up for it in football. Lots of picks there. Ryan, you only do football. You only do baseball, right? You haven't got into the football.
I have a couple of NFL leans for today.
Awesome. And I'm mostly baseball, but I have a couple CFL picks that I like as well. And we'll be looking to add some NFL throughout the day. So we will get started with this first game. Big favorites. That is the that's what day it is. It's the favorites day. A lot of big favorites on today's Saturday slate. So we'll be looking to tackle them. This game I really like here, the Padres and the Nationals. You can find San Diego minus 300 to minus 335. Washington plus 240 to plus 260. I see a plus 270 as well. Minus 1.5, minus 180 for whoever would play that. Minus 2.5, minus 115. 8.5s, a couple nines in this one. For me, basically here, we have one of the MLB's worst pitchers, in my opinion, that is currently playing, and Anibal Sanchez for the Nationals. I think the Nationals are also the worst team in baseball now after trading away Bell and Soto. I think they are by far the worst team. But what's been hurting them a lot lately is their pitching. It's not actually their actual lineup. It's their pitching that's been hurting them. And I don't see that improving today. Darvish, obviously better at home than on the road, but he's been giving up 2 or 3 earned runs in his last games. I think he can pretty much do the same here against the Nationals, if not a little bit better. For me, I have San Diego minus 2.5 at minus 115. I have the Padres team total over 5.5 at minus 110, and I do have San Diego money line parlayed with the Dodgers money line and the Atlanta Braves money line in game 1. I'm throwing that out there right now because the Braves game starts in about 6 minutes. So I do like the Braves here in game 1, and my quick rundown for that. Braves versus lefty, Miami versus lefty. Braves third best in baseball against lefties, Miami dead last against lefties. So it's kind of a perfect storm there for the Braves in game 1. But I didn't want to bet them minus 130 on their own. So I do have them in a 3-game parlay. And that Atlanta, San Diego, and Dodgers moneyline parlay is plus 220 in that one. Nick, Padres, Nationals, what do you think here?
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about minus 300 favorites. I don't care who's on the mound. I don't care. There's no value ever in minus 300 favorites, in my opinion, because you're asking them to go 122-40 over a full season long in order to break even with them. So honestly, I don't see any value either. Yeah, we can honestly have the San Diego Padres come out and kick the crap out of Anibal Sanchez, and it's 9-1 at the end of 3. So I easily see that happening, absolutely. But value-wise, it's only a look towards the Nationals in this game. I'll probably end up getting to the Nationals because the Padres are minus 320 on my book. No, it's not the prettiest play of the day. No, it's not a play I'm super confident in. But at minus 320, there's no way I can look at the Padres in this one here. It's Nationals or nothing for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Especially on the road.
Padres and Nationals. Be our tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think basically I look at the Nationals' opponent and I see them as an ATM, and their opponents have been beating the run line since the Bell and Soto trade, with 2 exceptions. The Nats beat DeGrom, and also the Nats won a game at Wrigley. But other than that, their opponents have covered the spread in every game since the trade. And I'm just going back to the ATM, and it's a parlay piece at this point. It's minus 170. It's too expensive. And look today, right? So look for the line to show up today, and it's going to get steamed because everyone's on. Everyone's going to be on the parlays tomorrow too.
All over your face. You can't wait to respond to my comment. I was actually waiting to respond to your comment. Nick and Tim both messaged me privately, and we're both happy with my comments in the chat today, as it
kept the chat live.
Yes, and I'm very good at doing that. And me and Nick disagree a lot, so things can get lively for sure. We'll move on to the second biggest favorite, I think, today. We have the Dodgers and the Kansas City Royals. You can find the Dodgers minus 275 to minus 300, 305, 310. Kansas City plus 230 to plus 245, 9.5s, right across the board in this one. Heaney will probably only pitch 4 innings. It seems to be what he has been doing, is 4 innings every start, the last 3 starts. He's given up 1 earned run total in the last 3 starts against San Diego, San Francisco, and Washington. 4 hits in the last 2 games, 1 hit in the game before that. He's 1-0 with a 0.64 ERA. So has been very dominant. The issue is he just doesn't pitch very long. But I'm not really too worried about that. If he comes out here and does his usual thing for 4 innings, I think the Dodgers bullpen will be able to continue on. Here for the Royals, Brad Keller coming off a really good start in his last game against Boston. 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and the win in 6 innings. But if you look at what he did before the Chicago White Sox, 5.2 innings, 13 hits, 8 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And we know the White Sox are much better against lefties than righties. So if the White Sox could hit a righty and Brad Keller like that, I can only imagine what the Dodgers are going to do. As I said, I do have the Dodgers money line in that 3-game parlay, and I also have Dodgers minus 2.5 at minus 112. I am considering taking the next step with Dodgers and Padres to go to minus 3.5. We'll see if I actually get there. But Dodgers run line has been money for a bit now, and I've been riding it. And I've seen some people that have done these alternate spreads, gone minus 2.5, gone minus 3.5, gone minus 4.5, and are winning. So will I take the extra step? We'll see. But I like the Dodgers here to win convincingly against this Royals team. Nick, Dodgers and Royals, what do you think here?
Once again, we have another team laying $3 on the road. There's no way in hell I get to the Dodgers. Yes, I know they are on a crazy winning streak and all that fun jazz, but winning streaks come to an end sometimes, and I think when it does, people will get paid really handsomely when the Dodgers lose again. Could it be today? Well, you're laying minus 300 with Andrew Heaney for 4 innings. I don't think he's a minus 300 pitcher, honestly, Andrew Heaney, and only going 4 innings is not something I want to back particularly. For me, this is Royals or nothing. Currently, it's minus 300 on my book. So once again, I'm probably going to get to this later in the day. I want to see what these 2 minus 300 lines move, because I have a feeling this one may drop a little bit. I think that we could see some money come in on the Royals as a home dog and drop this down to minus 295, minus 290 potentially on my book. At least I know it's 275, 280 on some books. For me, this is a lean towards the Royals because I don't lay $3 on anybody.
It has moved a little bit in Kansas City's favor because it was minus 300 earlier, and now there's some minus 275. So it has moved a little bit towards Kansas City. And I'm not backing Heaney. I am backing Heaney, but I'm not backing the Dodgers because of Heaney. I'm backing the Dodgers because of what they've done the last 12-ish games or so. But Heaney obviously is the starting pitcher. So Ryan, Dodgers, Royals, what do you think of this one?
I think this is much the same as the Nationals Padres situation, and it's been an ATM. And it's the Dodgers have won 11 straight and covered the run line in all of those games. So I don't advocate the money line. I advocate the run line, which is a little bit expensive, minus 175. If you parlay this with the Padres run line, you get a nice plus 140 price. And one other thing that I can add about the Royals is their pitcher today, Brad Keller. He's having this like good performance, bad performance, good performance, bad performance pattern. And if you follow that, he's going to have a bad performance today. So I'm backing the Dodgers. And again, I advocate to look at tomorrow's line because the public's going to be all over the Dodgers again tomorrow.
For sure. And we'll move on to the third game here, the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. I was looking at this game last night, wondering if will get to it or not. After talking to some other cappers that like the Detroit Tigers, I decided to pull the trigger here. You can find Detroit plus 168 to plus 160. White Sox minus 192 to minus 200. 8, some 7.5s available here, depending on what you like. I went to the first 5. I got Detroit plus a half, plus 116. So plus money for Detroit plus a half. I think we could get a lower scoring first 5 here. So if you're looking at the total, 4.5, minus 120, I wouldn't talk anybody off that. Matt Manning, in the games he has played in, he hasn't played a whole lot this year, but what he has done, he has pitched well. Lucas Giolito was a fade pitcher for a while for me this year, but he's been not too bad in his last 3 games. 2 back-to-back wins against Texas and Kansas City, going 5 innings, giving that 5 or 6 hits, 1 or 2 earned runs. The game before that in Colorado, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and a no decision there. He has been walking some guys, but we know what Detroit's offense is like. So I'm not too worried about that if you were going towards the total, which I'm looking at as well, adding the under 4.5 here. But I like Detroit plus a half in the first 5. I've done this a couple times where I've taken both and both have cashed. So I'm looking at going back to that again here in this game. Nick, Tigers and White Sox, what do you think here?
Yeah, I didn't get to this game. I'm not a huge fan of this one here. I guess it's a lean towards the dog in this spot. I don't, because the line's kind of dipping at this point. I believe it opened up around minus 200. Now it's down to minus 190, minus 185 in some spots, even though I'm seeing tickets coming in on the White Sox and money coming in on the White Sox. So I guess I lean towards the dog in this one here. This is going to be an interesting race in the Central, as White Sox are still 3.5 games out behind the Guardians now, as the Twins are a 1.5 games behind the Guardians as well. I think that this is a very important series for the White Sox to beat up on the Tigers at home. So I would lean towards Matt Manning, but I didn't bet this game.
All right. Ryan, Tigers and White Sox, what do you think here?
Yeah, so the Tigers are both very poor against right-handed pitching, and they're also very poor in their last 15 games. So last in the league in both of those categories. The Tigers fired their general manager this past week, and you were looking for a response from them, and zip, they're not doing it. The White Sox are frustrating to bet. They lose when they're supposed to win. They're not putting up good numbers in the run department. They did cover the run line yesterday, and I'm taking a stab with the White Sox on the run line again. I think you're getting a good price at even money in the run line. And the Tigers also, they don't pass the eye test. They commit a lot of errors. Their base running is bad. So I think the run line is on the White Sox to play today.
All right. Well, hopefully it's kind of a closer first 5, and then the White Sox can pull away at the end for you, and we can both cash. Going on to BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. BetStamp is awesome. Find the best odds, do your line shopping, and find the best odds for whatever you are looking to bet. First 5 full game. Find me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. So definitely join BetStamp and use code WILD. Going on to last pitch here. We'll kind of look at the rest of the slate. Not my favorite slate today. I guess the next game up will be the Guardians and the Blue Jays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Mackenzie against Mitch White. Obviously, we all know that I want the Blue Jays to win, but I did not like what I saw yesterday. Tons of Blue Jays fans all over Twitter were definitely commenting on yesterday's game. And how much they did not enjoy it and how they think the sky is falling with the Blue Jays. I'm not ready to go there yet. For me, this team needs to make the playoffs. They need experience for Vladdy. Like all these teams, Bichette, all these players need to get into the playoffs and play playoff baseball. That is the number one priority here. Do I think the Jays are strong enough to win it all? Probably not. I think they would have to have a miracle run and just kind of catch fire right at the right moment for that to happen. But going back to this game here, Mackenzie against Mitch White. This will be Mitch White's first start in Toronto, in Canada, being a Canadian. I'm expecting him to have a good performance here. Mackenzie, on the other side, can be really good, but can also be really bad. Watch how the first few innings go with him. And if he is striking people out, then this is not going to be a good day for the Blue Jays. But if he is getting hit up a bit, if the Jays are able to hit him up early, and I think the Jays can win this one. But it'll kind of be a see how Mackenzie does because he's either really good or he's not so good. So we'll have to see if the Jays can hit him in this one. Orioles and Rays, Hall against McClanahan. I want to back the Baltimore rookie, but I don't like his numbers in the minors in this one. So this game is ultimately a pass. Maybe considering the total, maybe looking at the over, but haven't got to anything there. Cubs and Reds, automatic pass, especially after the Field of Dreams game. Athletics, Astros, another huge favorite in the Astros, but I'm not willing to back them here. It wasn't looking too good for them yesterday, and then they obviously pulled away. Oakland fought back. Really, anything could happen in this game. Not going to back McCullers in his first start of the year. Phillies, Mets. We know my role in the Mets, so not getting involved here. If I was going to get involved, it would be with looking at an under of some kind, maybe no less strikeouts, but I won't be getting involved. Mariners and Rangers, Gonzalez against Dunning. I want to back the Mariners. I really do. I like how they're playing right now, but I feel like this could be a bad spot for them, so I'm just staying off. Yankees and Red Sox, Montas against Crawford. Maybe an over, but nothing for me in this one. Brewers and Cardinals. I want to back the Cardinals. I love how they're playing right now. Wainwright looks so good against Toronto, but looked so bad in his last game. So I'm not quite sure what to expect here. Going against Corbin Burns is also not a great spot for him either. Diamondbacks, Rockies, no opinion. Really. Pirates and Giants. Webb has not looked like his normal self lately. I could see this being one of the big favorites that go down. I don't think the Giants should be this big of favorites the way they played this year. So nothing for me there. Twins and Angels. I stayed off the Twins yesterday when I really wanted to back them, but just couldn't get to it. They won. We'll see what they can do here. Dylan Bundy on the road. I can't back him, but I can't back the Angels either. So it's ultimately a pass. I may look at Bundy strikeouts. Let's see. Okay, 6 in his last game was Toronto, 3 against Dodgers, 5 against Milwaukee. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I'll see what the number is, but probably won't get to anything there. Small slate for me in baseball today. Nick, I know you have a ginormous baseball card today, so lay it all on us here.
The only thing I've put money on is the Mets -1.5 at +125 back into DeGrom. That was the only thing I got. Now it's down to a +110. So I beat a little line movement on that one there. I have a couple leans that I don't know if I'm going to get to or not, but obviously the three big dogs, Nationals, Royals, Athletics, was kind of a look for me potentially. I don't know where I would want to go with this game. I had two things written down for that Yankees Red Sox game, either the Red Sox first five or the first five under. I don't know. I like the Rangers a little bit with Dane Dunning. I was looking at the Rangers -1 line. You can get around +130. I'm not a fan of Marco Gonzalez at all. I also lean Brewers -1, which I think you can get for -104 at this current time. And I was also leaning towards the Angels with Reed Detmers, but I really didn't get to too much. So the only thing I've put money on is the Mets run line at this point.
All right. Ryan, the rest of the baseball slate, anything else that you like?
Yeah, I have quite a few picks, so I'll fly through them. Let's see. For starters, I'm backing Tristan McKenzie. They're a slight dog against the Blue Jays, and I don't think they deserve to be. They're hitting really well. They're on this winning streak. Tristan McKenzie, I don't think he's quite the elite level, but I think you can back him in most cases. Baltimore, Tampa Bay, I think this total is too low. This 6.5. Putting a prospect out there and an unreliable McClanahan, it does. Even in a ballpark that doesn't play to the over, I think this 6.5 is too low. So I lean to the over. On the other, I am backing the Reds today, and I just think that there is a pitching mismatch here. I just think that Garrett Ashcraft is better than Adrian Sampson by a long shot, and getting basically an even money price. I'm gonna back the Reds here. The other picks, I think that this A's Astros total is too low at 8.5. Basically, you're putting Lance McCullers out there who's coming back from the IL, and Zach Logue. It's just even though the A's struggle with hitting, the Astros have 4 straight overs, and so the over 8.5 is a play for me on this game. I am staying off of Mets Phillies. It'll be a great game, but I'm looking at Jake DeGrom's over 8.5 strikeout prop, which is kind of a chalky -160, and I think it makes a good parlay piece. I think the Yankees at a -130 favorite are a play today. Frankie Montas just outclasses Cutter Crawford, and the Red Sox still have this unreliable bullpen. The Yankees hasn't been that great, but I just think at this even money price that the Yankees are backable today in spite of their recent woes. I have a strong play on this Mariners-Rangers game. I also, am bearish on Marco Gonzalez. I don't think he's that good at all. I think he's going to give up a handful of runs today. Dane Dunning historically hasn't been good, but had a couple of recent really good performances. The thing about the Mariners is there's a ton of excitement around this team. The media is calling this 1-0 game against the Yankees that went extra innings as the game of the year. There's just a lot of excitement. Julio Gonzalez is back, but I can't back them on this winning streak with this pitching matchup. And so the approach I'm taking is with the over. The over 8 on this, and this is my best bet for the day. Seattle has only 2 unders in the last 10, although there are several pushes there. And Texas is 4-0-1 to the over in the last 5. Those are basically my plays for the day. I have a couple of NFL looks. I think even though Seattle's playing Pittsburgh today,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
We're just we'll get there in a couple seconds. I have a whole NFL section coming up here. But perfect. We'll jump into the CFL, me and Nick first. Before we get to NFL, we got 2 CFL games happening tonight. BC Lions are in Calgary facing the Stampeders. We've seen a lot of line movement here.
Yeah.
BC was the favorite yesterday. I guess they were -2.5, -3, Nick.
And now I saw -3 at one point.
Now they are +2. You can find them for +110. definitely do your line shopping here because you can find BC plus 100 to plus 110. You can find +2, +1.5. If you were looking at Calgary, you'd probably want to go on the money line. You could maybe take the -1. There's actually not much price difference here, but I am not on Calgary. This BC team is, in my opinion, the second best team in the CFL, behind Winnipeg. And I don't know why they moved to plus money. I guess money has been coming in on Calgary. I don't see it. I like BC money line for plus 100. I got it at plus, and actually, as soon as I bet it, seconds later, it moved to plus 110. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I'm also on BC team total over 25.5, which I got for -120. Definitely do your shopping there as well, because some books have like -27.5. I got it for 25.5. And then I'm also looking at BC first half, which you can, okay, it was +1.5 at some books. Now it's +0.5, +1. I'm kind of looking at the plus half here in the first the first half. May not go and triple up on the game though. And then for the second one, the Rough Riders and the Elks. I expect Saskatchewan to win this game, but I'm not laying 7 points with them on the road. Not a team I trust on the road, but I'm definitely not backing Edmonton, a team I faded all year long. So that game is ultimately a pass. If anything, Saskatchewan money line and a parlay would be what I would do with that one, but nothing officially for me in that one. Nick, CFL, what do you think here?
Yeah, for the first game there at BC and Calgary, I stayed completely off the side in this one. I just went right to the over 53.5. And plain and simple, I expect points in this game. Both these teams have combined, or BC is 4-2-1 to the over. Calgary's 5-2 to the over this year. So both these teams have been over teams so far this year. And that's because BC leads the CFL with 36.3 points per game. They're third in the CFL with 458.4 yards per game, and they're first in the CFL with 349.4 passing yards per game, and they're second with 109 rushing yards. And looking on the other side, Calgary, they're second in the CFL with 29.4 points per game. They're first in the CFL with rushing yards per game. They don't do as much for passing yards. They're more of a little bit more of a run team, but this is a two dynamic offenses, two of the top teams in the Western Division, if you're not including Winnipeg. And I think this is a good game to see both teams hit the 30s, honestly. So I expect a high scoring fireworks game for this one. I'm on the over 53.5. And then for the second game, most this year I've been backing Edmonton a lot, and in some places they came through for me, not very often though. They are 0-3 at home this year. They have not covered a spread at home this year. Their 3 games at home. The most they've scored was 16 points, and that was against Saskatchewan week number 2. They only scored 6 against Calgary in a 49-6 loss at home there, and 10 against Winnipeg in a 24-10 loss. And then I know Saskatchewan, they've only played 2 road games and then the neutral site game. They lost the neutral site game, and they've split their 2 road games where they lost to Montreal, but they beat Edmonton week 2 and 3. Finally, Saskatchewan's hitting the road again, and I think this is a spot where they should get the job done. They are off of a bye week, which I think that was a much, much, much needed bye week for this Saskatchewan Roughriders team. I think they come out here and they take care of business against Edmonton, a team that I've backed, thinking that I can make some money getting back in them taking points this year. Edmonton's not that team though. So at home, Edmonton is terrible for whatever reason. So I'm on Saskatchewan. I got it at 6. I got -6 with Saskatchewan in this game.
Yeah, see, if it was -6, I would probably play it. Or I would probably look at it, but -7 is a no for me. We'll go on to the NFL preseason. We currently have 2 games that are currently going on right now.
And if you refresh it, it'll say 10. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
10-0.
10-0 for Carolina, 7-0 for Kansas City. I did not get involved in either of the 2 games. I'll be looking kind of at the later slate. For me, nothing as of right now. I'll be completely honest. Do not have a full chance to go over the football slate yet. But I know, Nick, you have some plays that you like. And Ryan, you have some leans or some plays that you like as well. So I'll let Nick go first. What do you think here with the preseason football for today?
I love the preseason football. Over on the site, I think we're 8-1. I'm 7-2 personally. I got a 1.5 worse on the Giants, which cost me a play there. But the preseason is great because you kind of know based on like where the lines move a little bit and what the coaches say, who's playing and who's not playing. So I think it gives a nice edge to when you're looking at that. Let me get up depth charts here for the NFL. It's kind of what I look at as well. And we'll take a look at that. The first play I have is the Indianapolis Colts on the money line. When you look at them, I don't know if we're going to see Matt Ryan, but we will be seeing Nick Foles and Sam Ehlinger, which are two players that I don't mind. Obviously, Nick Foles, a Super Bowl champion. Those are two solid quarterbacks to have for a preseason game. And they are taking on the Buffalo Bills, which the Bills actually have a decent quarterback room as well. Case Keenum and Matt Barkley, two guys who have started games in the NFL before. I lean over in this game. I did bet the Colts. The Colts are, I think I lean Colts team total over as well. I like those two quarterbacks, and the lines moved towards the Colts, which in preseason, I like to see where the line moves because it tells you who's playing early. If you see a team open up as a 2.5-point dog and they close as a 1-point favorite, that's saying, yeah, the coaches said that, yeah, they're going to be starting their starters and stuff like that. So those are some things I like to look at. I want to back teams that are slight favorites that were dogs. That's kind of the way I look at the preseason, and it's been successful doing it. The next one here is probably one of my favorite matchups of the night. It's Seattle and Pittsburgh. I like the over 36.5. Looking at the quarterback rooms here, we're going to have a quarterback competition in Seattle, which crazy as it sounds, between the dynamic duo of Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Oh, boy. But they're going to be competing back and forth with that. And then on the Pittsburgh side, they may have one of the best quarterback rooms when it comes to a preseason game because you're going to see a little bit of Trubisky. You're going to see Mason Rudolph, and you're going to see Kenny Pickett, their first-round pick. I love that. I like the over 36.5 because I think those three quarterbacks are going to ball out, and I think that Geno Smith and Drew Lock are going to compete for that quarterback spot, and they're going to ball out a little bit as well. 36.5. I think it's up to 37 now. I really like that over 36.5. And then two of the other ones that I got to, the lines moved dramatically a little bit with those. I got the Houston Texans at even money at home against the New Orleans Saints. And now they're up to a minus 140. I don't think I would bet the Texans at this point. But the Texans are a team I really like today. Davis Mills, you're probably going to see him a little bit. Kyle Allen, who started games in the NFL, and Jeff Driscoll, which I believe has started a couple games as well in the NFL. They've got a decent quarterback depth room there, the Texans, and they're taking on the Saints where I don't think you're going to see Jameis Winston, mainly because he was coming off of an injury last year, and I think they don't want to put him right in the preseason game. We saw what happened to Zach Wilson last night. They don't want to see that happen to Jameis Winston. So you'll probably
he's already hurt. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he already hurt himself earlier on
in practice. He's fine, but they're not going to want to risk that. I think Jameis Winston's going to have a great year this year. Andy Dalton and Ian Book are going to be your second and third strings. Ian Book did start a game or two last year. Not very good. Andy Dalton started plenty of games. He's not bad. But I do like the Texans in this game there. And then the last one is the Cowboys and the Broncos. And usually one number that I kind of really like in the spring and preseason, which tells a little bit of a story, is a 3.5. I know that is a scary number to lay, but I laid 3.5 with the Broncos here. No, you're not going to see Russell Wilson in this game most likely. If you do, it's for a drive or two. But with the way the lines moved, maybe you might see him for a little bit, along with Josh Johnson and Brett Ripien, which are two guys who have started games in the NFL. And so you're actually getting not bad quarterback for Dallas, but the way that the line moves suggests that they're not going to be starting many of their starters. Dak Prescott, I'm assuming you're not going to see him today. And then you're going to see Cooper Rush, Will Grier, and Ben DiNucci, three guys who have started games in the NFL. But I did get 3.5 with the Broncos, or I laid 3.5 with the Broncos. So, and that line is up to a 5 now. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about that game. I don't think the Cowboys care. I don't think they're starting their starters, and that should be an indicator that that's the truth. So for me, I got the over 37 in play right now with the Panthers, which is off to a decent start. I got the Colts money line, the over 36.5 with Pittsburgh, Texans money line, and the Broncos minus 3.5.
All right. I'm going to quickly bring this up again, the BetStamp page. Back to line shopping. You can find Denver minus 3.5, but you can also find Dallas plus 5, depending on where you look. So there's a 1.5 there, a difference. Nothing in the Battle of Los Angeles for you, Nick?
Lean towards the Chargers. I may get to it later in the day, but we've seen in the past few preseasons, Sean McVay does not care about the preseason. You're not going to see Matthew Stafford because Matthew Stafford's suffering with I think a shoulder injury or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but he's not healthy at the moment. So you're not going to see Stafford. You're not going to see many of the starters. Sean McVay doesn't care. And it would be Chargers or nothing for me in that spot.
All right. Ryan, what do you think here for preseason NFL?
Yeah, I'm right there with you on a couple of leans. I think there is a bona fide quarterback race in Seattle. And even though historically they don't do well in the preseason, this year's different. And there's going to be a competition, and the competition's going to happen tonight. And also I think Mitch Trubisky is the clear favorite in Pittsburgh. So there's a little bit different dynamic.
I like Trubisky.
So I may tell you on the over, but I'm looking at Seattle on the side.
Which that's not a bad play. That line has moved. I forgot to mention that. That line's now moved. It was Pittsburgh minus 3.5. Now it's -1 for them. So that does indicate that Seattle could be the play in that game as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I'm right there with you on the Broncos. Last year, the Broncos were 3-0 in the preseason, and the Cowboys were 0-3. So I think, if you want to look at the money line, or if you want to lay that price, I think it's I have a lean on that as well.
All right. And that is it. CFL, MLB, NFL. And we will get to the best bet segment here and start with over under. A couple for me, a couple totals that I have today. But I went here with this one in the CFL because the other one is my best bet. BC Lions team total over 25.5 in the CFL. Nick, you went to the NFL and took Pittsburgh, Seattle over 36.5. And Tim went to the MLB, Milwaukee, St. Louis over 7. No total from Dave. And Ryan, is there a total you like today?
Yes, I like A's Astros over 8.5.
Perfect. And then we'll move on along to dog of the day. I was not expecting this team to be a dog, the BC Lions. So I'm on them for a full unit. So I'll take them as my dog of the day. Nick, you are taking the Los Angeles Angels. Mm-hmm. Tim is going with the Baltimore Orioles. And Dave is going with the St. Louis Cardinals. Ryan, is there a dog that you like on today's slate?
The Guardians.
Right.
And I think some of these picks are right around the line. So I think the Guardians are plus 101, and the Angels are right there too.
I saw plus 103 for the Angels when I looked it up.
All right. Moving on to Parlay Piece. No, I didn't choose Dodgers money line. No, I didn't choose San Diego money line.
What?
I went back and forth. I'm going to choose the 21 hit streak to continue to 22. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to get a hit for Toronto. Nick and Tim, you both are going with Denver Broncos on the money line. And Dave is going with the Arizona Diamondbacks on the money line. What do you think here, Ryan?
I'll take the Padres on the run line at minus 183.
And there you go, -1.5. Lingowick likes
I
Nats.
like that. I like that a lot, Lindowick. He also has a Redskins hat in his picture, so I'm assuming he's a Washington fan.
A Redskins hat?
Yes,
What
it's actually a Redskins hat. It's actually
okay.
No, like if you look at the picture, it's the actual Redskin logo. I'm not saying no, it's the Commanders now, but if you look.
Okay. I thought I got
No, I did not mess up. I don't do that.
Going on to best bets for me today, San Diego team total over 5.5 to get 6 runs a full game. I think they do most of that in the first half, but Nationals bullpen will definitely help get the rest if needed. Nick, you are going Houston Texans money line.
That is -105 on 5 dimes. So,
all right,
that's where I got that line.
All right. Tim is going with Indianapolis and Denver, both on the money line for +190. He cashed a nice 2-unit 2-teamer yesterday to move up 6 units, so that was a nice cash. Dave is going with the Cincinnati Reds, first 5 money line, -120. And Ryan, you said earlier, right? This is your best bet. Seattle, Texas over
8.5.
8.
Oh, yeah, it's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I just for some reason I put 8.5, but it's all good. And that is it. That is the show. Best of luck to everybody today. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. NHL season preview videos are right around the corner, 9 days away until we start the first one. Super excited for that. Make sure to tune into those. And we will see you again tomorrow, noon, for another episode. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.
Come on.